On Saturday, October 8th, more than 70 competitors from 25 countries will assemble in Zurich, Switzerland, to compete in the world's first Bionic Olympics, a gauntlet of grueling events collectively known as the Cybathlon. The event is like the regular Olympics, only the athletes are all part robot. Some competitors are missing a hand or leg, while others are paralyzed from the neck down. To make up these setbacks, the athletes have motorized computer enhanced prosthetics, the strengths of which will be put to the test in 6 different events, depending on which body part is bionic. In the exoskeleton race, competitors who've lost the use of their legs will don the latest assistive suits to step over the stones, climb stairs, and walk across a ramp as quickly as possible. In the power arm prosthesis race, competitors who are missing part or all of the limb will test their dexterity in picking up and transporting various odd-shaped objects. The power leg prosthesis race will include many of the same obstacles as the skeleton race. Athletes will compete in 6 events on 4 parallel tracks at the same time. Some races will take place virtually, like the brain computer interface race. People with quadriplegia or other severe motor dysfunction will wear caps that read brain activity, allowing them to control an avatar in a race against other avatars from other players. For paraplegics, some of the greatest difficulties in day-to-day life come with basic transportation. In the power wheelchair race, teams will showcase their solutions for overcoming obstacles like uneven pavements and steep stops. At first, the muscle stimulated bike race might look like a Paralympic event, but the bikes are actually powered by electric impulse in athletes' legs.
The first record message is from 310 BC. In the age of ancient philosophy, one of the Aristotle's own students, the Greek philosopher Theophrastus, is credited with sending the first message in a bottle. He did it to prove his theory that the mid-Atlantic Ocean emptied into the Mediterranean Sea. It is still unclear if he ever received the confirmation he was hoping for. The brief history of messages. A common misconception about messages in battles is that they are usually romantic in nature, a long lost love letter in a battle sent from the heart and discovered years later. The truth is, though, the earliest known instances were far from it. Rather than passionate, many instances of these messages have been decidedly practical. Modern day messages in battles. Today, some scientists and oceanographers use messages in battle to study global currents. They launch thousands of such battles into the ocean at a time, usually from ships that are anchored at specific coordinates. Then they wait, in many cases, decades or more, for those battles to be discovered. But there are good reasons for the novice messenger to reconsider, and the biggest one would be the damage to the environment. While these messages have been known to travel thousands of miles around the world and have provided us with a trove of interesting stories, messages in battle can sneakily and contribute to ocean pollution. Beyond the pollution aspect, there's also the fact that the elements can damage bottles over time and their fragment, for example glass, plastic, or otherwise, can pose a threat to marine life. Even when the bottles remain intact, they can ultimately break over time due to salt and UV light. In those cases, they can release harmful chemicals, microplastic, and other compounds into the ocean water. For example, this page is the opposite that we should do if we want to conserve and preserve the environment. A true story of a message in a bottle. A 23 years old surfer, Mathia Medakrosik, tripped over a half-broken bottle as she cleared debris from a Croatian beach at the mouth of the Neretva River in southern Adriatic. Messages in a bottle. This is unknown where Mary is from or how she met Jonathan. Their identity is unknown, but inside the bottle was a message from Jonathan from the Canadian province of Nova Scotia, who had written it 28 years earlier, fulfilling his promise to write it to a woman named Mary. The message reads, Mary, you really are a great person. I hope we can keep up the correspondences. I said I would write to you. Your friend, always, Jonathan. Nova Scotia, 1985. The battle would have to have traveled approximately 6,000 kilometers across the Atlantic Ocean, entered the Mediterranean Sea, and then floated into the Adriatic Sea.
Greg Marshall is an Emmy Award-winning inventor, biologist, conservationist, and cinematographer who has dedicated his life to studying, exploring, and documenting animal life in world's oceans around the globe. He is a mentor to numerous researchers and scientists inspired by his work. His areas of expertise are adventure, conservationist, diver, engineer, filmmaker, journalist, entertainer, photographer, technologist, biographer, educator, and researcher. His most famous invention is the Critter Cam, a small, lightweight, streamlined camera that has the extraordinary ability to travel unobtrusively with its animal guests, where no camera has gone before, capturing never before seen images of the private lives of wild animals. Greg was inspired to create the Critter Cam during a diving expedition in Belize, where he encountered a large shark carrying a remora, a natural hitchhiker nursing on the shark's side. Envisioning that such a process would bring profound insight to science and conservation, Greg conceived of a remote camera that would mimic the behavior of the remora, and the field of animal-born imaging research was born. The CritterCam allows researchers to see into the private life of animals to study their behaviors, and this to understand and protect them.